A single myna bird perches on a temple roof in Thailand, an omen for those that believe it brings bad luck. But just down the road, no time for superstition. People are packing up supplies to send across the border to Myanmar. They have to operate without the Thai authorities knowing, and with no guarantees the aid will get through.
It is very difficult to get access to the displaced people. Some of the aid workers were arrested and some of the donation items were destroyed and burnt by the Myanmar army.
The supplies are loaded onto a truck: blankets, medicine, tarpaulins and food. This consignment will be driven across the border. Elsewhere, it must be carried by hand. On the other side of the border, the KARENNI army is in control. It was one of the ethnic armed groups that signed up to a ceasefire in Myanmar until the military coup in February. The aid is unloaded from the truck and taken to a makeshift jungle camp. It's the monsoon season and conditions are tough. Nonetheless, a steady flow of new arrivals. These people had trekked through the jungle for 3 days from Demoso, a township that has seen the fiercest fighting. But here, as elsewhere, COVID protocols prevail. Temperatures taken and masks worn. They must remain isolated for 14 days. Despite the conditions, however, everyone is grateful to be away from the fighting.
We were sleeping in our house when the Myanmar soldiers came near our village. We were very scared. We can't stay in the village anymore.
The artillery hit our village late at night. We were very scared and hurried to get up and ran to the jungle to hide from the shells.
Fighting in Kaya state has been fierce. Myanmar's army has unleashed the full might of its military machine. Helicopter gunships, jets and heavy artillery firing into civilian neighborhoods. Its troops have left a trail of destruction in the towns and bodies littering the streets, many decomposed beyond recognition in the tropical heat. Some believe this is a deliberate policy to force the KARENNI from their homeland.
Everything the regime has done has very specific purpose or purposes. That is to drive people away from their homes and then to make it impossible for them to return.
Some people are daring to go back, but with so many homes burnt or destroyed, there's a real concern. The army's intention is to push people back into the jungles for long periods of time, or even worse, to push them over the border here into Thailand. But Thailand has shown little interest in taking in tens of thousands of refugees, as it did in the 90s when Myanmar's junta enforced a similar policy on the KARENNI. That means that these children could remain in the makeshift camps for months or even years, forced from their homes by a military coup that may also have robbed them of their future. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, on the Thai-Myanmar border.